We needed to do a sidewalk pathway through our garden. We had put down some planks of wood just to get us through the winter because it was so muddy. So first thing, we cordoned off with some string and some little sticks, and then we pulled out the grass part. We had to dig down 8 centimeters. So that was pretty hard because some of this was not very good quality soil. It had lots of rubble in it from the original construction. Here are the tiles that we bought, 50 by 50 centimeters, and bags of gravel. Here's the pathway now that is knocked out 8 centimeters deep, which is a couple inches, over 10-meter span. The first thing I was told to do was put down this Géotextile, so geotextile. It's a fabric that prevents any weeds from growing up, which is great. It was exactly 1 meter width, which was perfect because that's exactly what we needed to do to get this all the way down to the bottom. So I'm just holding down with a few stones just to make sure that it stays in place while I'm unrolling it. And this particular roll was 15 meters long, which is great. I only needed 10 meters, so that worked out really fine. And now the 25 kilo bags of gravel. There was 13 bags that were delivered, and they're super heavy and not easy to carry, so I had to drag them over on this little cart. Fortunately, we didn't have a lot of mud that day, so it was easy to roll it over the grass. Then it was easy just to slit them open and pour them out. We had been told by my friend Caroline that the best way to keep the gravel in place is to put chicken wire on it. At the hardware store, they'd never heard of this before, but I got the chicken wire anyway, which was again 1 meter width, which was perfect, and it happened to be 10 meters long, which is exactly what we needed, so that was amazing. We tried it without the chicken wire first. It was really hard because the gravel was going all over the place and it wasn't very even. So having the chicken wire was really easy to stabilize the depth and not have it move around a lot, and if we needed to move the tiles back and forth, it was easier to do that as well. I had another roll from something else, and this worked perfectly because it was also 1 meter, and I was able to use that as like a rolling pin. I was able to walk on the chicken wire without disturbing the gravel. We had to do quite a bit of wiggling around, just trying to make sure it was even, but because we weren't laying this down on cement, in a way it was easier. It might not be as flat as it would have been on cement. Like you guys know, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, possibly the last time, because I can't imagine needing to do this again. So it was a lot of fun. It took us 6 days all in all to do it from start to finish, but it was very satisfying at the same time. So we have these 2 triangular bits where we wanted the path to turn, and I have a separate video that shows you how to cut the tiles so that they're fitting exactly, and that was also a lot of fun to do. So here I had to cut the chicken wire because of course we were turning and it was not possible to fold it over like we did the fabric part. So here we're just continuing on. We made good progress. It's the problem here you're going to see, the reason I've left this bit of the video, I've put it on accelerated, is the gravel is hard to get exactly flat, and we don't have a machine that taps it down either. We were really just doing the best we could, and occasionally we had to pick up a tile again if we saw that it wasn't really flat. Like this one, we're picking it up, we're wiggling it around, we're moving it again, adding some more gravel, taking gravel off, and we finally get it to a point where we feel it's okay. If in the future we find that it doesn't sit properly, we can always just lift it up and add more gravel or take gravel out, which is great. I also was told not to use sand because it will encourage the ants to come and make ant hills in it. Here is part of the video that I have showing you how to break the tiles. This is just that last bit, and these are the 2 half tiles at the end. I'm cutting off that bit of, the tiniest bit of the chicken wire that was left over at the end. So here we've got the full length. We're just missing now at this point the triangular bits, and I had my son helping me. I did a couple myself and he did a couple as well. It's quite satisfying to do this, so you watch the other video if you want to learn how to do that. The last piece. Cheers! Cheers! Well done. Thank you very much for your help. And it looks great at night too. We've got all sorts of solar lights around it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and click on the little notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos.